Today on Hidden Secrets Revealed Live, sell or settle. The idea is simple. Every day I go live for about 10 minutes. We talk about digital marketing. We talk about personal development. We talk about becoming the best versions of ourselves. We talk about mindset. The discourse is about the reason marketing exists is to expand your business. You should be expanding. If you're not expanding, you're shrinking. There's a thing called entropy in which it's our responsibility to create order out of disorder. That is the law, a universal law. There's a hidden secret of the universe for you. No extra charge, you're welcome. So our goal, your goal, us together, we are to create order from chaos. The world works in a certain way, and you have to acknowledge that. I'm capable of this. It's called wishful thinking. I'm sure you've known, and maybe you yourself have talked in terms of language like you should do this, or things should be this way, or they, or I wish this was this way. It's up to us to make things what we want them to be. We have the power to decide what we want things to be. So, today's topic is sell or settle. My name is Sean Allen Fenn. I am the founder of Safe New Media. I work with a marketing agency called Pipeline Communications. We get our partners double their ideal customers in half the time than they would without our proprietary data. I'll put a link in the comments if you are a business owner and you're tired of dealing with big agencies who don't give a flying fart as long as they get paid. But the smaller agencies can't do that. And this agency that I work with takes away the risk. No long-term contract, which means we have to work harder. If you don't make money, we don't make money. So we can't work with everybody. If we don't get our partners 5x ROAS, like right off the bat in 30 days, we're not going to work with you. We're not going to work with you if we don't believe that you are able to deal with the increase in customers, the tangible increase in customers. And if you're not set up to get the ROI, if you're not set up, I've made mistakes in the past as an entrepreneur, as a digital marketer, working on my own with smaller entrepreneurs and smaller companies and who couldn't handle the business that I got for them. And I learned from that. So anyway, that's what I do for work, is digital marketing. Okay, but I'm interested in expansion. I kind of am at this space between sales and marketing. Marketing is what a brand does, a promise that a brand makes to attract their ideal customers. And sales is the immediate sort of proactive discourse, the conversation on the phone that closes the deal. depending on the business. Everybody's different, but I'm at this space in between sales and marketing. So today, the world has changed, if you haven't noticed. It's not true that people don't like to be sold to. Because if you have a product or service that solves a problem and you can improve someone's life by selling it to them, you're doing them a favor. And people appreciate that when it's relevant, when it's done in a way that communicates not like you would expect, but we have to communicate with each other, understanding how the mind works. For example, LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, if you're like me, you get tons of connection requests of people just trying to pitch their thing right off the bat. And I'm not saying it never works, but very rarely does pitching right off the bat to someone ever work directly. Because everyone's busy. We have other things going on, other fires to put out with our business, personal relationships, personal things that are happening in the background, family things that are happening in the background that are taking up our energy, all kinds of things. And there's something called the availability heuristic, which means the memories that are most available, the recent ones, the recent things that are happening are the most available, and that's what you're thinking about, the recent things. So when you're helping someone by giving them your product or service, you have to acknowledge where they are in their mind. And that's hard. That's why so few people can do it. Because you would think that, here's an example. Have you heard of the analogy that the mind is like a computer? Everyone's heard something like that, probably. You've probably heard, the mind is like a computer. With a computer, if you're trying to send a Word document to another computer, that other computer will recognize as a Word document. But the human mind doesn't do that. The data, the information that's in your head, you cannot transmit to another person and have them receive it in the same format that's in your head. I'm an artist. I experimented with this in some of my paintings that I've done. I had the assumption that I could make a painting that would be easily understood. And I would create an image that someone else in their head, when they see it, would translate and they would know what it's about. And that was totally proven false. That did not happen. Why? Because every mind is unique and we're taking this information in every day. But we're receiving so much information every day. And how do we filter it? That's the problem you should be solving when you're trying to get your product or service into someone's head. How are they filtering your information? Through what lens are they filtering your information through? Now, the topic today is sell or settle, because this is true. If you don't take a stand and control your life, someone else will make decisions for you, and you will end up settling for whatever. It's not good or bad, it just is. Sometimes you settle for a garden hose that you, so this example, it's the example I'm thinking of. Say you need a garden hose, but you don't have the time or energy to go search for the best quality garden hose. You just order on Amazon, or you go to the best, you go to the local hardware store, you buy it. But you're not going to search for every garden hose in the world, unless maybe you are doing that. Some people would do that. But chances are there's only so much energy you can put into something depending on its level of importance. So if you get a cheap garden hose, you'll settle for that cheap garden hose because you don't want to spend that much. And then eventually it breaks and it gets holes in it. You got to buy a new one. But it was so cheap that you're like, no big deal. But what if we do that with big stuff? Like our mate, the person we mate with. That's a big decision. How many people settle for a person, like the nearest person who gives them attention? You know this is true. Everything, you're either selling or settling. So you're either giving someone what you want. I'm gonna kind of go out there a little bit. I don't know if you can follow me, but I'm gonna make a few points here that you may or may not understand. Because if you don't understand, I'm not articulating it well enough. I take full responsibility for it. But you've heard the term, you get what you pay for, right? You get what you pay for. You get what you want. You get what you ask for. People think they get what they deserve. But how many people get things they don't deserve? Or you can't fathom how they achieved some things because you only see a certain part of their life. For example, there are people who do bad things, but good things happen to them. Do they deserve those good things to happen if they're unethical? No, but it happens anyway. You can imagine how it would happen. You probably are thinking of situations where people either get what they deserve or they don't get what they deserve. Maybe the opposite. People who deserve a raise don't get the raise. The other employee gets it. Oh, I froze up. I'm sorry, I froze up. I didn't even notice I was freezing up. How long have I been frozen like this, you guys? I'm rambling over here and I haven't noticed. Oh, here we go. Anyway. So, an employee gets a raise that she doesn't deserve. The other employee deserves it. But that other employee didn't ask. So you get what you ask for. Same thing with if you have a product or service. How you treat people is how you're going to be treated. If you tend to be cheap, people are going to be cheap with you. If you're generous, people are going to be generous with you. Another point is you get what you sell. In other words, the energy that you put off is the energy that you get back. So it takes a conscious effort. I'm freezing up again, sorry. All right, I'm not going to worry about it. This is live. My system, my internet. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. You get what you sell. All right, I'm going to have to wrap this up. My My thing is freezing up on me.